people automatically want to flip that switch and they want electricity, and people take it for granted. I take it for granted. My husband's a plumber. I take turning on the faucet, water coming out for granted until it's not there. So we need to remember to be thankful for all the things that we have in life, and for our co-ops especially, who keep the lights on.
To CEO Charisse, your dedication to NMREC is truly inspiring and makes an incredible difference in communities across the state and in programs like Youth Tour.
I'm often asked about why aren't we building where the cars are? Why aren't you putting charging stations where the cars are? And the reason is because we want to build infrastructure where the cars are going to go. And we want to make sure that every community in New Mexico has the opportunity to establish those economic anchors in their communities, to build that tax base, to build those opportunities for good paying jobs.
Data centers are really looking for cheap energy, and as you know, New Mexico has top 10 most affordable electricity in the U.S. For reference, it's roughly 25% cheaper than the U.S. average. I think it's just a matter of time before we start seeing those loads pop up.
I'm proud to say at my co-op, from the way I grew up 30 years ago as a lineman to where we're at now, has gone a big change from that short rope to that long rope attitude.
The legislators, the state agencies, our regulators and partners that you'll hear from today are going to give you information on cybersecurity. We're going to talk about wildfire liability and insurance and some of the concerns that we have. We're also going to talk about broadband access and initiatives across the state of New Mexico. And we're also going to talk about hiring and retention, which feeds into economic development and electrification.
Share a little bit in that title of yours. Can you share a little bit about what the Community Wildfire Defense Grant Program is?
Absolutely. So the Community Wildfire Defense Grant is a new opportunity brought to us by the bipartisan infrastructure law that is funneled through the U.S. Forest Service, and New Mexico is an opt-in state, so we are facilitating the wildfire mitigation projects and preparedness plans.
Labor concerns are still the primary issue that co-ops face. This is what I hear around the country when I deal and talk with leadership. And we've got multiple types of programs that we've created in consultation with leadership to help you attract, retain, and reward talent.
Federated's celebrating our 65th anniversary right now, which has been great. And they did that for one reason. Primarily the lack of focus on safety they felt the insurance carriers at the time had. And so that's one of our biggest things for 65 years, make sure we focus on helping everybody get safer. Part of that is we return a portion of the premium to the statewide every year to help fund safety initiatives. And so, Charisse, if you'd like to come up, I do have a check today. So $45,000 to help with the safety efforts here in New Mexico.
She came up to me earlier and said, "Thanks for the money, Charisse, but really like to actually work together on some initiatives." So we are going to make sure that we do that.
Shortly after we make the rate filing, we intend to make another filing within a week or so on what we call Bring Your Own Resource to provide additional contract flexibility for members. So this will be a tariff filed at the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission that allows members to generate up to 40% of their needs from a locally developed project. It could be wind, it could be solar, it could be geothermal, it could be storage, it could be a fossil fuel project. So the member will bid that into the Tri-State Resource Mix, and it will be accepted and deemed to serve their load, and you will get the credit for that resource. If you ever need to exit in the future, it will be a resource you can take with you, and it comes with no upfront exit fee, with no upfront buy-down payment.
Economic development in its basics is adding money to your economy. And that's bringing money from outside of your area into your area so that money can then add to your economy. In reality, it comes down to this. You need two things in order for economic development to happen: water and electricity. If you don't have those two things, you don't have economic development.
Things can happen, and not just from a threat actor. Equipment can fail, wildfires, I know there's talks about that later on today, just natural disasters. Being resilient, being prepared to recover, keep operations going is a big thing.
The future of energy in New Mexico does not have to be about choosing winners or losers. I believe, and the speaker spoke about this, that there really is room at the table for everyone who wants to work towards solutions for our state.
You all are delivering critical services for communities across the state, rural communities, hard-to-reach communities, frontier communities, from lighting to cooling our homes to powering local businesses to providing good paying in-demand jobs and boosting the state's economy as a whole. For all of that, I want to thank you